Today, what are the odds that Judge Kavanaugh will soon be Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh? And what are the odds that they never thought she would lose? Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. Every episode, I start the same way. I say thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has hit that button and has joined the effort. There's always new subscribers. If you haven't hit that button already, please come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications to be notified when these videos get posted. Here we go. This is the latest Q post, and it's crazy. So we're talking about Judge Kavanaugh, we're talking about Hillary Clinton, we're talking about, what's going on with that dynamic. We even talk about No Name, and we talk about other issues that have come up, especially the fact that I don't think it's an accident to wear an upside down cross multiple times, but you guys will be the judge of that, and we'll get to that later in this video. Now, if you guys want to get caught up to where we're at, I encourage you to go back and watch the latest video from Just Informed Talk, which would be this one right here. Obviously, the good folks at the company which I am posting these videos doesn't seem to think that content is acceptable for the advertisers, but I think it's acceptable for you guys, so I think you should go check it out and make sure to share this video and make sure to get it out there, because obviously they don't like that title, I don't think, but I don't know what to say. Now here we go. Also, if you're scratching your head going, what's QAnon? Watch this video. It actually also has been decidedly not approved for advertising for some reason. I guess they think it's a controversial subject. But the reality is, watch this video, share this video, watch all the videos if you want to get caught up on the latest posts. And I thank you for supporting the channel by coming here and clicking the subscribe button, doing all that. And we're going to get right into the latest video. So this video right here, we're going to talk about the latest Q post. And I'm just literally reporting what the Q post is and sharing it with you guys right here. So let's just get started. It's example one, quote unquote, being afraid. Does Hillary Rodham Clinton care about you? If she cared about protecting you, would she sell out America's secrets and uranium to China, Russia? Example one. These are questions. They always thought if charges were brought versus them, they would ultimately be safe. Supreme Court control. Antonin Scalia out. Hillary Rodham Clinton appoints. End of all ends. Final. Did Anthony Kennedy have a choice? Was this the original plan according to HRC election win? What evidence was he shown? RBG Ruth Bader Ginsburg replacement lifetime appointment age. What's at stake? Oh, okay, so, and then here it gives all these Twitter statuses from you-know-who, our favorite former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. And, yeah, so basically they're all saying, Happy Labor Day. There's no better time to talk about why workers' rights would suffer if Brett Kavanaugh, whose hearings for a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court start tomorrow, is confirmed. And then it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You guys can see that there's literally, this has got to be at least over a dozen tweets here. And they're all basically saying the same thing. Do not allow Judge Kavanaugh to become the Supreme Court Justice. Now, what's kind of funny to me about that is that the way that it is, this is like the most desperate thing you could do. She's literally sitting here giving us the phone number for Congress. Call your senators. We have to stop this, because if he becomes a Supreme Court Justice, then there might actually be justice served against me. And we can't have that, can we? But that's, that to me is how I would look at this and read it. Because, making cases for all these things that don't really align, and then, basically putting this effort forward, when all of the evidence that we're uncovering, all of the implications about the Steele dossier and the DNC and the Hillary campaign and Uranium One and what happened with the Clinton Foundation and, the alleged access that was given through private email servers to foreign actors. This is all documented stuff that is, still lingering questions that need to be answered. So to me, what this is laying out, and then Q says, pain comes in many different forms, full control, enjoy the show, Q. So you can obviously read into this, but what it's saying basically is Hillary Clinton, if she's advocating so vociferously for Judge Kavanaugh to never become a Supreme Court justice. Why would that be? What was the plan? What was the original plan if Hillary had been nominated? So I'm not going to, go over all the details and everything about Antonin Scalia because there's a whole nother episode there. But the reality is that Antonin Scalia lost his life, whether that was, as it has been reported or not. That is for a whole nother day in conversation. But he was removed, basically. So you have that. Then you have Anthony Kennedy, who had to step down. Now, why did Anthony Kennedy have to step down? That's a good question that Q asks here. And I think it has something to do with evidence that was brought to him showing that he may or may not have been actually in on the plan himself. And of course, who would be the next person to step down is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Who was going to replace Antonin Scalia? Loretta Lynch. Or Merrick Garland. Who was going to replace Anthony Kennedy? Loretta Lynch. Who was going to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Yet to be determined. Probably another one of their, who knows, probably James Comey. Like, James Comey, the Supreme Court Justice, you're totally qualified. And we would have been basically way worse off than where we are now, which is actually in a pretty good position with Judge Kavanaugh, who should be nominated without any problem, or should be put through the process and voted in to the Supreme Court without an issue, because I think the votes are there. The problem here is, though, what is Q laying out? Q's laying out that you have Uranium One, you have China and Russia, the connections with the Clintons and Clinton Foundation and certain donors that were in their, orbit, I guess you would say. And the reality that the Podesta emails uncovered all of this, that they laid out things about how, the deals were done and who were the influence pushers and all of that. And to me, I really think that at this point, every time we bring up the whole Hillary thing and the email thing, the left and those who are on the Rhino right, they want to tell us that, oh, well, we already had Benghazi and we had the email investigation and James Comey said she was clean. James Comey's fired, presumably for his conduct in the investigation of the Hillary Clinton investigation. And it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling to think, okay, well, they're telling us, oh, we've had Benghazi. No answers were actually brought. I mean, other than the fact that there was a complete dereliction of duty on behalf of those in charge of, protecting American lives abroad. But there's been no extensive investigation. But behind the scenes, it's being told to us by Q that John Huber, Michael Horowitz, and 470 investigators are working around the clock to put together cases against a number of a high percentage of, at least, of the 45 to 50,000 sealed indictments that exist right now. And Q wanted us to look at how many of those sealed indictments are, United States v. blank, put in one of these people from the other side, not even the other side, but anybody from this organizational conspiracy that is set out to undermine the president, to meddle in our elections, to spy on the president. I mean, and they actually believe that the fact that, oh, well, there's definitely just cause because Carter Page was there, and because look at Manafort, he's been arrested, and look at Michael Cohen. First of all, Manafort and Cohen have nothing to do. They worked for Trump, but that's like saying that, I had a contractor build my house a year ago, and then he got, pulled over for drug trafficking, so I must be a drug trafficker. I mean, it's literally that kind of insanity. And then they want to present that to you as, oh yeah, that's obvious connection and reason that he's a Russian actor. And you're like, what? In what world do you live? Right? And then in the same breath, they want to say, oh, it's, it's Michael Cohen, it's Manafort, it's Carter Page. Carter Page hasn't been charged with anything. There have yet to have been charges brought against him. If he's a Russian spy, he must have got away with it because nobody's bringing charges against him. But he was the reason they went and spied on President Trump. Look at Papadopoulos. He's getting charged in basically, process crimes. Not even like having to do with anything other than, maybe not saying something right. It's crazy. So that's what's at stake. is the fact that all of this is going to come out, and I just don't understand where people come from when they can't seem to see that. Now, the next one here is this tweet, which I thought was interesting, and it's talking about the newly appointed senator in Arizona who's replacing John McCain. It's Senator Kyle, and I haven't done enough research on this. I'm assuming that this is if he's replacing No Name and his wife's endorsing this guy. Let me just go ahead and say that he's probably going to be McCain, 2.0 or something, and it's going to be there's going to be no difference. And again, there's this article here that's talking about John Kyle named to succeed John McCain in the Senate, and it kind of goes through all that, how it all came together. And you can read that for yourself. You can find it on Fox News, and that Twitter's from Doug Ducey. You can find that if you want. Here we go. The next one says, add to the list. I wonder what we're talking about now. Look at that. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel announces he will not seek re-election. Rahm Emanuel. I think he was just mentioned in a Q post quite recently. Let's take a look at that. And in this post from Q, we get this wonderful story about Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran. It says, who paid Hussein to attend Harvard Law School? Who is Prince Al-Walid bin Talal? Oh, he's that Saudi royal prince who was a part of the purge and was picked up and held captive in his hotel on suspicion of corruption, where he was later released after a lot of people said and reported that it's possible he could have turned and told what he knew after some very friendly questioning from different individuals. But it says, why would Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the Saudi royal, pay Hussein to attend Harvard Law School? And you guys can look this up for yourself. This stuff's all fairly accurate as I can put it together. From what I did in my research, it seems like it's fair to say that the Harvard Law School monies that were used to pay for Hussein's education can be connected back to Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. That's a good question. We should really research that more. It says, was Hussein a prominent political figure or a person of influence at the time? No, he was basically a nobody at that time. And it says, no. Who's Valerie Jarrett? Where was she born? Well, we all know that she's his executive advisor who really never had a real position other than to be his advisor. I'm putting up air quotes. It says, where was she born? Well, she was born in Iran. Interesting. Hassan Rouhani, Valerie Jarrett. I wonder if they know each other. And then you have, when did Valerie Jarrett hire Michelle Robinson? Who is Michelle Robinson? Oh, that's Michelle Obama, of course. She was hired. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then you guys can put that one together in your head. I'm not going to do that one for you. It says timeline. He has an article talking about how they got engaged in Chicago. And here we go. Here's Rahm Emanuel. Who is the former mayor, or who is the mayor former? Richard Daley. Who is the mayor current? Rahm Emanuel. Hussein should be very nervous. Brennan should be very nervous. Kerry should be very nervous. Merkel should be very nervous. Plus 29. And then it talks more. We're not going to read all this, but it talks about how is the money divided that came from the Iran deal. And I think the implication basically was this, that this was all part of a big deal that was set up. If you look at what the Iran deal basically was, is it was opening up access for European, the EU corporations to come in and into one of the largest untapped markets in the world, basically in Iran, and to have exclusive rights in exchange for basically alleged payoffs of people who are in the highest offices of our country. Okay? So obviously to me, that's what I read out of that, and that's what I see when I see Rahm Emanuel stepping down, is that we have been basically informed about what's going on, and that may be a good reason for them to want to step down, if that is true, presumably. So here is an interesting thing. You have this imam who is talking about John McCain, basically saying he was on his way to becoming an American hero, but instead he became a senator for ISIS and the Muslim Brotherhood. No American senator fought for Islamist rights and the arming of jihadists like Senator McCain. Now that's this person's tweet, and it gives a link to that tweet, and it also gives this link here to this Linda Sarsour video, which I'm not going to play, but it's basically her saying, literally, I don't care what you think. I don't care they're not candidates you like. I don't need you to like them. I need you to vote Democrat. So, listen, that's literally what she said. So, what she's telling you basically, I don't care what you think. I don't care if you even like or know the candidate, really. You don't have to. You just need to vote the way I tell you to vote. And that is like the crazy, bizarro world that the left lives in, where they literally, on the Democrat side, it just seems like they don't care. Just vote Democrat. Don't worry about it. We're just totally brainwashed and we're going to keep going. And you're like, what? But hey, that's the times that we live in. And yeah, now the next one, I'm not going to go too much into that because it's just dumb. But the next one here is this Hillary Clinton wearing this upside down cross and Chelsea wearing the upside down cross. And it says an upside down cross. And it says like mother, like daughter. Cute. And yeah, I mean, look, I don't know any rational person out there who's like, yeah, I went out to vote yesterday and I really wanted to get a good Satanist in office. It's been a while since we had a good Satanist running our country or running our State Department or managing a large portion of our government. Yet it's been so long. We've tried everything else and I just want more Satanists. That nobody in their right mind would ever say that. Okay, and I hope they don't cut that line out and say he said that, because I mean, you obviously know in context I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is what that is. I mean, and how can you do that? Like, you don't accidentally say, oh, I put my cross on upside down twice accidentally. I mean, one time maybe I can understand, like, oh, accident, but multiple times being seen wearing an upside down cross, and we know what that symbolizes. That actually means Satanism. It's like in the Church of Satan, that's how they put the cross up, So, and then to see one on Hillary's medallion here, and on CNN and in front of the whole world, basically, just showing it off to all her pals, like all her Satanist buddies, I guess. And I'm not saying that I know that she's a Satanist. I'm just saying that, I don't know any Christians that wear upside down crosses, and the only people I know that wear upside down crosses are, ironic goth teens and or lost goth teens, whatever you want to call them, and people who worship the devil. So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's too much of a dispersion to cast, but I mean, I'm asking the question, is that not the symbol of it? There you go. The next one, Breaking 911, the status on Breaking 911, and it's actually talking about Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey says in prepared testimony to Congress, Twitter does not use political ideology to make any decisions. Now, I did misspeak in the last episode because I guess I got it confused between him and Mark Zuckerberg, but they will be going, him and Cheryl, Jack and Cheryl. So it's Sheryl Sandberg, excuse me. I don't know why I blanked on that. But Jack Dorsey and Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook and Twitter will be going to testify before Capitol Hill tomorrow. And that's going to be pretty crazy. That in and of itself is crazy. But then if you put on top of that the fact that Q told us exactly what would be coming out in that statement yesterday, right here. Twitter denies current adoption of shadow banning, read political viewpoints, no discrimination, no pride, or we pride ourselves regarding no censorship, open and transparent. And Twitter re-engages shadow banning across all platforms. So this is the quote that Q's giving us. Presumably, these are, let's look at what was the statement that had come out today that Q is pointing our attention to in saying that, like clockwork, we have this Breaking 911 post that says, Twitter does not use political ideology to make any decisions, quote, unquote. So there we go. They have their statement out. I'm sure a lot of those statements align with what Q was saying. And look, that's the way they're going to play it, then that's the way they're going to play it. Q says like clockwork, and I understand that totally, loud and clear, and gives a reference back to the older post that we just looked at. Now, the next one is Q responding to this other post that we went over, Q's previous post with the 2 tweets, saying, and this is a tweet or a post from Q from June 30th, where an Anon says, "Please do not let No Name off the hook. He is a disgrace to the veterans across this great country and needs to be held accountable." And Q says, "Think Supreme Court vote to confirm coming. No Name action. Every dog has its day. Enjoy the show. Q." It says, "What are the odds?" And I ask you, what are the odds, ladies and gentlemen, that John McCain passed away pretty much exactly on National Dog Day, the day before? Maybe the National Dog Day was the deadline for it. But however you want to look at that, that was just another confirmation. Now we have the Supreme Court vote coming. This is a big deal, and you guys are seeing it live. I'm sure as I'm here reporting it, I am going to go back and get right back to watching the latest from the Supreme Court nomination hearings on Capitol Hill. So that being said, stick around. I want to tell you guys a few things. Cool. If you guys want to get involved with helping the channel out, the best way to do is to come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That's the best way to help out, and I really appreciate it. Another way is to spread these links, get these videos out there, because obviously there's certain information here that they don't want you to know. There's a reason why I think this video's got a very low view count as compared to my last few, is because sometimes when you say certain things and you step on certain toes, people don't want to get that information out. So you guys got to help me and spread those links. Another great way is to scroll down at the end of this video, leave your thoughts, theories, and insights in the comments, because like I say at the end of each one of these videos, we do our best to have our own QAnon research board where we don't just talk about Q posts, we talk about politics, religion, culture, everything in between. It's a great conversation with a lot of great people. So even if you can't comment, please scroll down and read through the comments. Now, that being said, a few ways you can help out the channel otherwise would be, for one, to go to the AmericanPriority.com website. And what is the American Priority conference, you ask? Well, it was the conference that I had been talking about probably a few months ago, or a couple months ago, for you guys who follow the channel. And originally it was actually supposed to be starting in 2 days in September in Washington, D.C., and yours truly was supposed to be there, but unfortunately the conference got pushed back to December. So now the American Priority Conference will be held at the same location, the Marriott Wardham Park Hotel in Washington, D.C., and it will be held December 6th through 8th, 2018. If you want more information on that conference, go to AmericanPriority.com. I'm still working out the logistics as to whether I will be attending this, because the schedule did change a little, but I can tell you right now, whether or not I'm there, it's going to be a good time, and it's going to be great for people who are in the DC area who want to, around that time period, December 6th through 8th, who want to get, up close and personal with some of the coolest people who are out there doing their own reporting, working on different media venues, and out there in politics. It's a great opportunity to go and network. So I encourage you to go to AmericanPriority.com and go check out that website. That's definitely a cool thing. Now, another cool site you can check out is JustInformedNews.com. And that just so happens to be the official website for this channel, JustInformedTalk.com. So if you guys want to come over here and check it out, this is kind of the beta test version. We're working on some cool features for this website. So for me, I'm trying to get as much content up as I can. And, sometimes I get more busy with videos and it's hard for me to really contribute more articles. But right now I'm developing a page for you guys to come here on the website and visit, where you can become your own reporter. It's just going to be open. I'm going to call it crowdsourcing reporting. So basically, if you have the need to get your name out there by writing a piece and getting your ideas out there, I'm going to put together a set of guidelines for submitting content that, if you just follow those simple guidelines that I'll put forward, you can have your content featured here on the website, and then I'll feature it in these videos. And it's a way to get your name out there. It's not really going to be like a compensation type deal, but it is a way to get kind of known and to get your ideas out there if you're really, adamant. So many people reach out to me with so many different cool ideas and thoughts that there's just not enough time. I'm only one person, so there's not enough time for me to really go at it. But if I put this together the right way, I want you guys to be able to come here and contribute in a way that is awesome for everyone. Because like I said, I'm not clunking up this website with any advertising right now. It's not, monetized at all. It's purely here for your benefit And eventually down the line, hopefully we can do some kind of very minimal monetizing so that it's not interrupting. Because my biggest pet peeve online is internet ads. So particularly ones on websites. I don't mind the ones on YouTube or the ones that you get for when you're watching videos on Facebook. That doesn't really bother me as much as when you actually get these pop-ups that just make your computer almost impossible to use. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, and I'm going to try to do that in a clean way. But for now, this is definitely just being ran and done for your benefit. So it's a great resource. If you can come here and contribute, there's a contact and there's donated information. There's all types of stuff you can get involved with here, and you can actually read the articles. And I'm really excited about where this website's heading. So thank you for checking that out. There's a couple quick more ways you can contribute. If you want to help out financially, I really appreciate it. You come over here to Patreon, patreon.com, search Just Informed Talk, or come to patreon.com/Just Informed Talk. Click this button to become a patron. It's a monthly donation, and you guys are the fuel that drives this channel. You're what keeps me doing this 24/7, 365, no matter what happens with YouTube. As long as I know I can count on you guys for that monthly donation. You guys don't even realize how big that is to keep this channel going. So I can just do this 24/7, 365. So thank you so much. And if you're not interested in making that monthly donation, and you want to do something more like a one-time donation, that's why I set up this GoFundMe. It's gofundme.com/just-informed. Again, gofundme.com/just-informed. When you come here, you'll get to this landing page. Click this button to make a donation. It can be a one-time donation. It can be an anonymous donation. It can be a one-time anonymous donation. That's the great thing about it. That's why I set it up. So if you guys want to take advantage of that and help out the channel and give to a good cause, thank you. I really appreciate it, truly from the bottom of my heart. So that's pretty much it, except for the most important thing. And what is the most important thing? It is God. God is the most important thing. Everything we do is about, or should be about, God. Even if it's the smallest menial thing to the biggest decision of our lives, I think factoring God into that is important. But in factoring God into our decisions, we have to try to understand, what do we gain from our struggles? As workers, we're all workers. We're all working to support ourselves. We're supporting our family. We're supporting the country, pay our taxes. We're supporting our military. We help out with our church. We help out with our community. These things come with struggles because it's not easy. Not every day is going to be peachy and rainbows and sunshine. There's going to be times where it's going to be tough. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a grind. You're going to get put through the ringer, and God actually has an answer for this. And it's found in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 9 and forward. And I want to share this with you. So just listen, and I think this will make sense when I'm done reading it. So it says, "What does the worker gain from his struggles? I have seen the task that God has given people to keep them occupied. He has made everything appropriate in its time. He has also put eternity in their hearts. But man cannot discover the work God has done from the beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and enjoy the good life. It is also the gift of God whenever anyone eats, drinks, and enjoys all his efforts. I know that all God does will last forever. There is no adding to it or taking from it. God works so that people will be in awe of him. Whatever is has already been, and whatever will be already is. God repeats what has passed." And those are profound words to me in a sense, because they speak to me that we have to enjoy each moment, and we have to enjoy the little things. A lot of people tend to look forward to things and say, oh, I have a big meeting that's going to come through, or I have a big windfall that might happen, or I might have, and those can be true, and those can be great things, and those can be a part of your goals. But there's this great song that just came out, and I want to share that. It's called Dream Small. And the whole message of the song, it's a Christian song, obviously, because I only listen to Christian rock. Kay loves the station. But obviously it's talking about in this song, Dream Small, how it's good to have bigger dreams. But if you dream small and you let those accomplishments build on one another, and you make one by one, taking one step at a time and building, you can enjoy it and it can build into something great. Let those small dreams build into great dreams, and understand that along the way there's going to be struggles, but everything will happen in God's time. And God wants us to take the time to eat and to drink and to enjoy the fruits of our labors that we have struggled for. Because if we don't do that, if we don't take the time to enjoy our lives, if we don't take the time to enjoy God's great creation, if we don't take the time to enjoy our loved ones and our family and friends, then we're really not living. We're really not living. So remember that. Remember that everything will come in God's time, and that whatever is has already been, and whatever will be already is. God just repeats what has passed. So there's a bigger picture. And you got to sometimes take the time to sit back and see it. So that's going to be it for me. I want to say thank you all for watching this episode of Just Informed Talk. Obviously, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, now's a great time to do it. Come here, click the big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Also, come check out justinformednews.com. I'm very proud of what we can do over here, and I want you guys to get involved. And like I said, I'm going to try to bring that citizen contributor button page, whatever it's going to be, for you guys, and that's going to be a cool thing. But again, thank you for watching Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.